So I want to talk about forever today. Forever, forever, forever. Oh, to be young, dumb, and in love. So this is going to have spoilers as well. So if you don't want spoilers, bye bye. See you later. See you for the next review. But I'm gonna mention some things that happened in the show. So we have Keisha and Justin. They went to primary school together, I think. Yeah, they went to primary school together, and then they obviously went to different schools, and they by chance meet each other again at a New Year's Eve party that one child is throwing. I don't know who it is, but I don't know. Anyway, so the show basically kind of just documents their love story. I mean, it's kind of obvious from the picture that it's about that. But it was so annoying. This show was so annoying, but it was so annoying in like the sweetest way because because I can't speak for everyone else, but I know better. I'm older now, so I know better, or I should know better. A lot of the issues that these two had in their relationships or within themselves was very much. I remember those times I was just looking at the TV and I was like, for goodness sake, man, why are you crying over that? Why are you upset over that? Or you better go to school. You better go to school. Like that's that's what I caught myself saying because I was like, these guys that make silly decisions, but then you have to remember that these guys are teenagers. They don't know. Like for example, Keisha's character, prior to meeting Justin again, she used to date this guy called Christian, who was like the star athlete or whatever at their school, like the next Kobe Bryant apparently. And basically, she slobbed the knob. He recorded it and then he shared it. Now, this is where I need to come and tell my young girls the real tea. If you are being intimate with a guy and he says, let's record it, especially on his phone, you always say no because 95% of the time he is going to share it with his friends. 95% of the time he is going to share it with his friends. And it's not because necessarily he's evil or malicious, it's because he's a horny teenage boy. And horny teenage boys do stuff like this. I mean, grown men do stuff like this, let alone teenagers. So just imagine. And she made the mistake of trusting this other guy called Christian with her, with their intimate time. And it went all over school. And basically, she basically had a sex tape leak. But she didn't tell her mum. She didn't tell her mum. She didn't tell any adult in her life really about what was going on. She dealt with it all herself. She had to move school, X, Y, and Z. She even pretended to still want to get back with him or whatnot just to please her mum because it was just like, oh my gosh, like, girl, you should have cussed him out. You should have let your mum take him to the police because he's going to go off to uni and be in Kobe 2.0, and you're going to deal with fallout of people seeing you slobbing knob. Like, it's just at that age though, you think you try and you try and control a narrative. You want to please your parents, X, Y, and Z. You don't want them to know that about you. I completely get it. But in doing that, she ended up torturing herself and putting her relationship with Justin at risk. And for what? Again, as well with Christian. Oh gosh, not Christian. Justin. He annoyed me on this show so much because in my head I was thinking, boy, if you do not go to Northwestern and get yourself a good, I don't think it's an Ivy League school, but I think it's just below Ivy League, meaning like it's a very, very good school. Do the 4 years, make beats in your spare time, and then when you're in your early 20s, go and do music production or whatever it is you want to do. Like, oh my God, I was like, oh my gosh, go to school. Go to school. But obviously at that age, you don't think these things. You think everything you're going through is going to last forever. How you feel about someone or something or what you like is going to last forever. I'm not saying people that are music producers are failures in life. Not clearly not. But they're illiterate people. Of course not. But in my head, I was thinking, we're in an era now that you can be a producer, you can make beats and X, Y, and Z, and still get an education. I was confused. Maybe I'm African. My parents would not have even allowed me to defer a year or anything to go and make beats. to go to Puerto Rico and make beats. If you know, you know. Like even them like blocking each other after arguments, crying when, oh gosh, even you know even them like losing their virginity to each other was so cringe and so awkward. Well, when they first tried to lose it to each other, was so cringe and so awkward, but it was so cute at the same time. Like you remember what it was like to feel those feelings, you know, and managing like expectations from education. You're now like your hormones are in overdrive. Like you want to have sex, and you want boys and girls to touch your private parts, and you have crushes. Like everything is so intense at that age. I mean, it doesn't get better, but you learn how to manage it and you know how to navigate. Well, you should. But these guys were like getting used to becoming adults and then falling in love and stuff. And then I feel like at the end, they actually made a very adult decision, to be honest with you. Another thing I really liked about the show is the parents of these two. So you had Keisha was from a single mum, very much working class, you know, working extra jobs to pay for her to go to school. And then you had was affluent, two-parent household. I think he had another sibling, he had another younger brother. I mean, they were living life of luxury. Okay. And but his parents were very involved with him. I love the dynamic that he had with his dad. I really love that dynamic. And the thing is, the guy that played his dad usually plays some terrible people. I think the last time I saw him in something, he played he was in the new edition um the new edition miniseries as the uncle, and that was a good character. But in this show, like the way he loved the mom, the way he parented, like him being a successful chef, and not just a basketball player or music producer. I just loved it. I loved his mom, even though I thought she was very overbearing. Her heart was always in the right place. She was just protective, you know, and her mom as well. Like she was working hard to make her daughters, go to good schools, and it was just I just love it. I just liked it so much, guys. Also, there was a girl in the show also called Shannon, and she was just showing everyone the tea. I was like, girl, I mean, okay, if that's what you want to do. So, guys, yeah, watch the show. Let's support like black content creators. Oh my gosh, let me not diminish let me not diminish this, because it's not just a random skit. This is a very good piece of work, a very good show. I watched it in like I think 1 or 2 days. It was cute, it was frustrating, but it was basically what being a teenager is all about.